What's good, guys? It's Monster Chappie, and we're back today looking at a Madden 13 ranked game. And today I got the Bears. My opponent has the Raiders. Now, I do want to apologize for the slowness on the videos, but oh my goodness, the school has been crazy. We actually have finals week coming up next week, and a majority of my finals and things like that are going to be early on in the week. So hopefully beyond the early part of next week, I'll be able to get you guys a lot more content a lot more frequently, from Madden to Call of Duty to Battlefield to food reviews to just vlogs in general, just all kinds of videos hopefully. So leave in the comments below which types of videos you guys would want to see. You know, is there anything in particular you want to look at? I do have a bunch of Microsoft points right now for I don't know what reason, but I may be buying the new Call of Duty maps and the new Battlefield maps and playing those as well. And kind of getting a swing for the war games, as well as mixing in, of course, a lot of Madden. Again, we'll probably be heading back towards the money games once we do get going. Just because ranked games are boring to me, and I just practice in them as we're practicing in this game here. But definitely, again, as I've talked about before, is in practicing ranked games. Now, this guy, what he did was send A-gap heat or max coverage just about every single play. Some sort of form of A-gap heat, whether it was left or right, which was pretty cool. He had actually a good amount of A-gap blitzes that he was running, but you know, sometimes it's good to let those blitzes in the games you know you're going to win, or against people that you're practicing against, or whatever the case may be. That way you can prepare yourself against whatever kind of heat it is. Because, you know, sometimes you may be able to pick it up, sometimes you won't in a critical moment. And if you don't, you need to be able to know which reads are your hot reads, which guys you need to be looking for, which, you know, options, which part of the field your opponent's leaving open, those various things. You need to understand where they are at, and with various plays. Like, for instance, if I run the trail, I would have had no problems, you know, probably would have been a completion every time. But we actually were working on verticals this game just because it's a pretty solid play, and I'm trying to add that into the, you know, availability of plays that we run just to diversify the offense and become more diverse and basically harder to stop overall. But you know, some games you got to do that, and you got to do that with all your plays. So, you know, you may have a good reads with one play, but you need to get good reads with your other plays. You need to try to be as comfortable as possible with each and every one of your plays as you can possibly be. That way, when it comes down to it, in those critical conditions, situations, moments, against that X factor defense, against the surprise blitz, against the surprise max coverage, or whatever it is, you're ready. And you're able to make those decisions. You're able to be patient against max coverage. You're able to check it down real quick against the blitz. You're able to find that open receiver and basically not force it in where you shouldn't and get yourself picked off as we should have been picked off there. So that is the critical thing there for you guys, and that is the big thing I would say. You can practice in ranked games. You can practice against your friends, whatever the case may be. But definitely something you want to practice, because if you don't, once you play a better player, once you get in a bad situation or a good situation or whatever you want to call it, that is when you're going to want to be prepared. And if you're not, there's a good chance you're going to turn it over. And sometimes one turnover can be the difference between winning and losing a game. A lot of the times it can be, especially the timing of the turnover. Like if they score, they get a stop, and then they score again just before half. That is such a huge momentum swing if you don't get that score back. That usually will determine the ball game, especially if it's a money game or 4-minute quarters, all Madden, or 4-minute no Excel clock. It's just such a huge momentum swing. So definitely something you guys want to prepare for, something you want to be ready for, and things like that. Also, defensively, you know, the first part of the game we established our lead. So at this point in the game, we're kind of looking at what parts of our defenses are weak, and as you can see, he's exposing them with these real quick passes and things like that. So we have to look at what sort of adjustments we can make in the future to basically counter that and make sure we don't give up those big plays, regardless of our opponent, and you know, the fact that he's using the Raiders, who have all kinds of speed, which is great too, because that gives us the opportunity to basically practice against the fastest of the fastest. So you shouldn't see too many guys faster than the Raiders. Bears, you know, with Knox and Hester, maybe the Eagles with Jackson and Macklin. But for the most part, man, it doesn't get too much faster than the Raiders overall speed. You got DMC, Ford, DHB, more, just about everybody's over 90 speed. So It's also one thing you may want to do is practice against different teams like the Raiders for speed. You may want to practice against a team like the Packers that don't drop passes. You may want to practice against, like the 49ers who have amazing blocking and amazing running back that can just, truck over a lot of guys and things like that. And diversify what you're practicing against. Diversify again. I've talked about it before. Specializing. They do it in mixed martial arts. They do it, various things in the world, various practices. But you want to specialize, and the reason you want to specialize is because that's how you become elite. If you're a real good player, typically when you come in a ranked game, your opponent may have defense that's on your level, but maybe not offense, or vice versa. And, once you go into a higher level opponent, they may be able to do both things as well as you, or almost as good. And it's going to be critical that you can outperform them in the fine details rather than just being overall better than them and just pretty much dominating them in all aspects of the game. So that's one thing I would say for you guys. And I don't know, I've been a lot tip related lately, but I really want you guys to have a strong step going into Madden 25 on the things you're going to want to work on and the things you're going to want to look at, because these tips should hold true for any future Madden game. And definitely something I've been using for years, and I'll continue to use these tips for years, so the years to come, and they've just been working out well for me. I've overall been getting better and better throughout each year, and there's a lot of guys that are good one year because one thing worked well for them, and then they're not good, for the following years. Or, guys that are decent every year, but they stay kind of at that same level. Say if a skill level was 100 out of 100, they stay at around 60, then they go up to 61. But the key I want to get to you guys is I want you to get you from a 60 to a 70 to an 80 and progress steadily. So hopefully you guys enjoy this video. Till the next time, we go.